Everybody, it's good to see you. My wife learned how to cut my hair, so that's good. Today I'm going to start a painting. Now, you've been in my classroom at most schools, and you've seen my paintings of guitars on a piece of paper like this, but in actuality, they're this big. It's big. It's 4 feet by 2 feet on a piece of board. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how one of those comes together. So I'm going to paint this guitar on that piece of wood. So step one, I'm going to have to go outside, set up my sawhorses, I'll paint on it, let it dry in the sun, and then I'll have to come back in and continue. So, hold on. Alright, here we are outside. I've got the board right here, which is actually sitting on it. I've got some old house paint, got a big brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slather paint all over this. And what I'm really trying to do is get rid of the wood grain on the board before I start my painting. So, I'll get back to that in a few minutes. Alright, now, I went out, painted the piece of wood. So basically I've got it off-white all over the background. And then what I did was I took my guitar and I laid it down on the wood so that to make sure it's life size, because I'm going to be doing this life size. So now I got to work on the background, but first I have to figure out what to do with it. Not quite there yet. So I know what I'm going to do with the guitar. Don't have any idea about the background yet, but that needs to be done first. So I got to think about it. I'll be back. All right, here we are. We're getting ready to do the background. Got my painting up here on my easel. Got all my stuff. I'm going to move you around. Shelf paint, a palette, which is basically just a piece of wax paper taped to a board on my shelf here. That way I just tear it up, fill it up, and then get rid of it. It's disposable. All my brushes in the bottles, a variety of other things that I'll end up using. So, my colors here are going to do a kind of a blue, violet, maybe a little pink in there in the background. So, come back and we'll get started. So the background's a little in there. I'll come back, I'll work on it later and let it all dry. Then I'm going to tape off the guitar and clean my brushes. So, see you later. Here we are again. What I've done is I've taken some spray paint. And the reason I've taken the spray paint is because this guitar that I'm painting is made out of pieces of broken mirror. And they're set so that when the stage lights hit it, it glows. It shoots light everywhere. So I've got this spray paint on here to kind of create this glow around the outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and take some tape. I'm going to tape a line across where the neck of the guitar is, and I'm going to use something called gel medium, and I'll just put a little bit along the edge of the tape and let that dry, and then I'm going to paint, and I'm going to let this have a drip effect running down from the neck of the guitar down to the bottom, and that's going to make a huge mess on my floor, which doesn't really matter because I've been doing this for years, and there is a huge mess on my floor. So, I'll get to that. So you just saw me tape around the body of the guitar and paint yellow and gold because this guitar has a golden trim right around the body. So now what I did was I covered up just a little bit of that trim all the way around, and I'm going to take some bigger tape, block this off, and I'm going to put some paper over the rest of it. And I'm going to take it outside, and the mirror effect on the guitar, I'm going to use mirror effect spray paint. So I'm going to have to spray paint this part right here. So next time you see it, it's going to be nice and shiny like a mirror, just like the real guitar. All right, I'm back. So now I've got this spray paint, this mirrored spray paint on it, so it's nice and shiny. And now I've got taped off where the hardware is. It's hard to point at when I'm not looking at it. So I'm going to start painting the hardware. I'm going to go pretty quick. I'm going to paint in some pickups here, and then there's some dials, and there's a switch up here. And then, of course, I'll have to come up to the neck and all the tuner things. So here we go. All right, I've got some of the hardware on here already. It's kind of roughed out. I'll get to it in a minute. But I learned a technique from one of my favorite artists named Drew Struzan. Drew Struzan used to make movie posters and record covers, and like he painted this. Some of you might recognize that movie. But on a documentary I was watching with him about him, he mentioned a thing called clear gesso. And clear gesso, I'm going to paint it all over this guitar, because what I'm going to do is I'm not just going to paint the guitar, I'm going to draw on the guitar too. So it's like a mixed media kind of thing. And what gesso is, it's usually white. And you put it on your canvas or whatever before you start painting to prime it. And what it does is it gives kind of a rough surface, like gives it a tooth. Because what I'm painting with are acrylics, and acrylic is plastic. So if I take a pencil and I try and draw on plastic, go ahead, try it. I'll wait. Didn't work, did it? So what I do is I paint this on, and you're going to say you're ruining it, because it's going to start covering it up kind of white, but it'll dry clear. And then what I can do is I can take a pencil, like one of these colored pencils, and I can start adding some details. And you see I've got a picture of the guitar up here, and there's lines where the glass is cracked. So I'm going to draw those lines onto the guitar, and I'm going to draw some details onto the hardware too, kind of make it look a little more realistic. So here we go. I finished the headstock, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to put some fixative on it so it doesn't smear, because I use pencil and charcoal up here. And you saw me earlier put the logo on there. What I did was I printed it off on my computer and then cut it out and then collaged it on there, so I didn't have to do those little itty bitty tiny letters. So, like I said, there's my phone. Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants, for all you out there. Like I said, I'm going to spray it with fixative. Never use spray paint or anything inside the house. Make sure you take it outside so you can breathe, because it's bad for you. See you soon. All right, here we are again. Hopefully I'll be able to get this thing finished today. I've gone through and I've drawn some frets on it. I've outlined some things. So here we go. That was a little interruption from Mr. Boot, who decided to jump on my pallet here, so just one of the perils of working from home, I guess. All right, there we go. I think it's finished. I'm going to take it outside, spray some fixative on it so the pencils and things don't smear, and then I'll come back in and take a photo and you'll see the final product up close. All right, here we go. The final product. It's all done. My next step, though, because there's still more to it, I have to take this outside because my house is not conducive to taking photographs, good photographs. So today it's raining, but in a day or two I'm going to take it outside in the morning, get good light on it. I'm going to take a really high resolution photograph of it. And what I do with that, not only does it take a picture of it, so that I have it in my archives, I can remember it if I ever sell it, but I can use it on websites, I can make prints out of it, and the higher the resolution photograph that I take, the bigger the prints can make. So I've sold prints of these that are, twice as large as this, and they still look good because of the high quality. So I hope you enjoyed watching it go from a piece of wood to a full-fledged painting. This is how I work when I'm at home. I take my time, I use paint, I use spray paint, I use pencil, I use charcoal, all kinds of things just to mix and match. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just have fun. If you pick a subject, I like the way guitars look. That's my favorite subject, so I decided to do a painting of it. I'm glad you could come along with me, and I hope you guys have a good summer, and I hope to see you at the beginning of next school year. But we'll see what happens. Bye.